right, let's get a check of your first alert forecast now with meteorologist Tony Chivaroli.
And Tony, looking at our weather, I know we're just starting off our week, but for that holiday weekend, will it look like people can get on the water?
It's looking relatively dry right now as we make that look onto the rest of this week, guys, but it's still just a bit diced up into pieces. So we see little tiny bits of precipitation, just a very low amount of it. So let's go on with that sentiment and, of course, work to keep things dry. And after we saw, as a reminder, all that rain last week in a big bunch, we can, of course, try to enjoy a nice dry week overall, where we start you out here, live look, capital city of Columbia, beginning the day all in those mid-60s. Richland County, much the same, near 64. Lexington, 65. We can go over towards Sumter, where you're a little cooler, near 60. A lot of other communities near those marks as well. Got Newberry, Camden there. You can go back over towards the west. Saluta's right there. But, of course, mid-60s hold steady. Tough down towards Orangeburg. We get all these conditions into the tidbits, rolling it through, up and down. What do you need to know? It is going to be with a similar weather situation to yesterday, where, of course, we saw some sun. A good amount of it worked through. The clouds were thin, so the sun really worked to win out the day as best as it could. We can see that again over the next 2 days, but those clouds will still be around. We're sandwiched in between high and low pressure, so we still keep mainly dry. We get away from any rain chances, really, but the clouds work to linger. And then we can actually see a little bit more of that high pressure take over later into the week. And this is, of course, how we settle. We just go on where rain chances say, okay, I'm working to hold off, but still we have the little potential for them to return as we get into Memorial Day weekend. Unfortunate timing with that, but I'm still hoping even if they have to return, that chances do stay very low. Now we go on to this. We get the sun to work to break through cloud cover. That will be rolling around at times. It's going to be just that little mix that's on and off throughout the day. Still a beautiful Tuesday takes shape. Just a little patch of drizzle can't be ruled out widespread across the region. But that's going to be about it for this one. Highs near 80. Now for your Wednesday, we see a little bit more of a thicker cloud layer try to form for the morning, but it's just going to be, again, another change into the late phases of that day, at least the AM hours in the afternoon, where we get a shakeup of that layer again, trying to get a bit more of that high pressure down. And this has been something that the Futurecast has shown, usually a little bit more cloudy the next day, but once we actually get to the day, a bit more of that sun works to break through, because sometimes it does get confused how actually thin that cloud layer can be at different layers of the atmosphere. And that's big, because that could still showcase more of a sunny type of day, even though there's clouds overhead. Of course, this is going to be something that we continue to look onward with into the week, because we don't really see much of a change in our pattern. No big differences in air masses. It's all going to be very similar. We get, of course, the sun to just try and say, okay, I'm going to fight back from those clouds, work to win out the day, even though there's going to be sky cover overhead. So we go on to this one. We get a good Tuesday here to settle in. Highs yet again near 80. The sun works through. Fantastic for a run to the store. Whatever you need to do on this Tuesday to make it a great one for you as we sit dry. During the overnight period, we're going to be continuing back to a low once more, near 60. Some getting back into the upper 50s. And that's going to be about it. Very reminiscent of what we saw yesterday. Just would think clouds are going to be a little bit thicker than what we saw for Monday. Then we keep on later into the week where a bit more of sun could break out for our afternoon hours. A bit of a shake-up getting into Memorial Day weekend where, unfortunately for some, I would assume, Saturday is trending a little bit cooler, only around 70 degrees.